Does your craft bag look like this? Well, mine does, and I am sick of it. Here's a whole bunch of stuff that should be in my craft bag. I have been searching for the perfect craft bag, and I think I found it. Let me show you. Look at this thing. It is great. I am really going to like filling this up. It's got these dividers inside. And here's another one that goes inside. I'm using a handheld camera here. It's a little difficult for me, just trying to figure it out. But look at how nice this is and how big, and it's got 12 pockets all the way around. FYI, this is a diaper bag. The name of it is Early Hugs. I will link it below. Now I'm going to fill this craft bag and I'm going to show you exactly what I have in it after I unload it at the cottage. Okay, goodbye for now.
Okay, hi you guys, I'm back, and as you can see in that little part of the video where I'm showing you my heaping craft bag, I am now going to show you the bag that I went to and how to get your hands on it and how I organized mine. So, let me start there. This is the bag that I purchased. Can you see that? It is 15 by 10 by 8 inches and it weighs 1.5 pounds empty. Now it shows instructions down here on how to put the inserts together, but what the coolest thing is, it's called Early Hugs, and it is a diaper bag. But it has 12 pockets all the way around, and it has divider inserts, and if you want to, you can fold it flat. The handles are really great, and I'll show you my bag all full. So I have a great big camera view here because I have a lot in it. And what I like to do with my bag, I like to have a section for my paper crafting, so making my cards and things of that nature. And also I have a section now for my mixed media, because when I go to a stamp camp or an art weekend, a craft weekend, I have everything in here. And after this portion of video, I am going to have a list of everything that I have in this bag, things that I think are important, and things, of course, that wouldn't be in your bag at all the time. To throw them in before you leave. And for instance, like my Misty stamping tool, excuse me, is something that I wouldn't only have in this bag because I use it all the time during the week and things that I have, in my regular art room. Okay, so this section here, and I'll just quickly go through and I'll move this a little bit so you can see. I have a hardboard here, and I have some of the clips that I would use for watercoloring. Oops, sorry. Or for my mixed media projects. So I have that on there. I also have this hard plastic envelope, and this is actually for my finished products. And then before I go, I try to throw a few magazine papers in there, and this is inspiration in case I get stuck. This is a whole bunch of really cute cards. And can you see this one here? It's got a heart. It's maybe a little hard to see, but that was my inspiration for making this card. and I think that turned out pretty cool. So I pull out magazine ideas that I like out of my card crafting magazines, and then I put them in here. I take them with and either share them with the friends that I'm creating with, or let them go, or bring them back and put them in my stash. But this hard envelope here is wonderful for putting your finished projects in. Okay, so I have two of the craft mats in my bag. I have a, excuse me, a heat gun, for heat embossing. I have my pens and pencils, and I'll show you that in a minute, in a roll. I have a bag here that's set up with my watercolor things, and I will show you that. I have masking tape because I use that in my inspiration journal, and I do that a lot when I go down to the cottage. I have my regular card fronts, and this is Nina Solar White, and I have those all cut by 4 1/4 or 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I have a pack of my watercolor paper, and there may be several different kinds in there. I just make sure that I have enough if I'm going to do any watercoloring. I have another watercolor little notebook here, and that's just because um, I haven't used it up and I want to use it so I can get rid of it. I also have a set of card fronts that are made out of Bristol Smooth, Strathmore Bristol Smooth paper. And there are different cards that I make that are using that type of paper. So there's my paper choices that I have. This is just a scrap. Then I will show you my tin that I have on my desk all the time. And I always have a few pieces of parchment. I use those for smoothing down my cards, and maybe using for my art journaling and things of that nature. I have some uh, non-sticky paper so that I can use that with my projects. I have a little wax paper in case I need that for die cutting. And then also in this package, I do have some gems and dots and things for finishing off those cards. I'm going to put this and we'll go through these items that I've ordered. So the items I pulled, this travel roll, it's by Stabilo. It's something that I got at a rummage sale, of course, you know me. In this zipper pocket, I have just a pencil sharpener. And in here I have my black water-soluble marker for going around the edges of my product, a regular pen. I have a Versamark marker for doing some dry embossing. This is a pencil that picks up little gems if you are doing any of that work. I have my black and white Posca paint pens. I have my brown and black Stabilo pencils. I have a couple of these Fantastics. They were just sitting around on my desk and I don't use them very often. You can use them with ink or other types of things. I just threw them in there because I don't use them very much, and I thought, well, they don't take up much room on here. I have my clear Wink of Stella that I love to put shimmer on projects. I have three different charcoal pencils in here for my mixed media projects. I have my Derwent Inktense watercolor pencil that I use a lot for mixed media, and that is in a bark color. I have a black chalk writer, and that is for going around the edges of my mixed media projects, and sometimes I could use that in my art journaling also. I use that a lot. I have a white Uniball Signal gel pen. I have two black permanent markers for journaling and other projects. I have a jelly roll pen, and that is clear shimmer to add little sparkles. I also have a white pastel pencil, and I use that a lot in my art journaling and my mixed media projects. Another ballpoint pen, and that probably should go over here. And what else? Looks like I have a plain white jelly roll pen there. I have a pair of tweezers, and I also have this little pokey tool that you would use for your die cuts. So that's what's in there. And this is a real nice bag, and like I said, it's by Stabilo. It's a travel roll bag. I got mine at a rummage sale. That's a great place to get things for your travel bag. And this one, this is for my watercolor supplies. I have just a little bottle of water. I have some 3M adhesive tape, and that's real nice for edging your projects or attaching it to your hardboard. I have some watercolor water brushes, excuse me. I have this watercolor set, and it's really nice. I think I got it at Walmart. It has a lot of real basic colors here, and it also comes in this little kit and has a water brush. I haven't used it much. I see that this one's cracking a little bit. Um, I had a friend that was using it, and I was going to try it this weekend, and I just ran out of time. And I also keep some paper towel that I have folded up for my watercoloring, and I keep that all together in this little plastic, and it's so much nicer to know what you have in your bag before you go and you find out that you don't have it. So like I said, at the end of this video, I will include those checklists for you. If you want to print them off, you certainly can. And it has everything that I have in my craft bag, and then also the things that I add in at the end. So that'll go back in my bag. This little tote looks familiar, I'm sure. It's by Tim Holtz, and it would carry my distress inks. In here I have a adhesive eraser. I have my really sharp non-stick scissors, my distress tool, my bone folder. I have four mini ink pads. I have my VersaFine in Onyx Black and Vintage Sepia. This is what I use for watercoloring for stamping. I have my Vintage Photo, which I always like to have for around the edges of my cards, just to add that little black detail, or brown detail there. I like how that looks. And you can see it also on this one. This one was used with my distress tool there, and that one turned out real cute. I also have that brown ink around this flower and around the edges here, so that was real nice. I have a regular eraser, another blade for my trimmer that I take with. I have a chapstick because I'm addicted to chapstick, another pencil sharpener, and then my mono sand eraser that I wouldn't be able to live without. And I don't know if I mentioned this, I have a tuxedo black in Memento, and I use that for stamping with my Copic markers if I'm going to be coloring in my Copics. So this little box always stays put together, and it goes right back into my bag. So we'll go ahead and do that. Put it right back in my bag here. And it's very, very nice when you have this all set up, somebody asks you to go for a little crafting weekend. You know, we don't get to do that very much with this crazy pandemic and things, but you're all set and you know what you have in it. I just got back from a weekend yesterday, and so today I was restocking anything I thought I was running low of, I put back in there, and things that I was looking for when I was down there crafting, I wrote on a piece of paper and I stuck it in here, and then I put those items in. Now this is my adhesive bag. We'll look at that. I have my big roll of 3M Post-it tape, and it's about a quarter, maybe an eighth of an inch thick is what I use. And then I also have another bag of goodies here, and we'll go through those. All right, I'll put that back. In this bag, it's real nice because it opens like this. You can see I cut a hole in the top here. Can you see that? Because I stuck my ruler through there so it wouldn't keep getting caught. So what I have in here, I have dental floss, and I use that for removing card fronts. I'm going to show you that technique in a project coming up real soon because that is a great, great tip, and I'll show you that. I have some hand salve because my hands get so cracked and dry when I am creating. So this is really nice to have in your craft kit because it keeps you going strong. I have a little punch that I just recently got, and it's just a little heart. I keep some twist ties in there, a pen blade that is retractable. I have a brown and black uh, makeup brush that I use for stenciling. I have my spray bottle here with water in it. I have another pair of non-stick sharp scissors in case I were to misplace my other ones. I have a Craft Bond glue stick, my foam tool for adding the brown to my edges. I have new skin liquid bandage because I do get so many cuts on my hands and that really hurts me. I have another chapstick because I am addicted to chapstick, I think. Some hand cream, and then I have a dry embossing tool, and I use that to put little dots on my cards if I want to do that technique. So I will quickly put all this back, put my ruler through here. Let me know in the comments below if you like these organizational videos. I just knew that it's very beneficial for me and my friends, and they were saying, oh yeah, that would be a great video that they would be interested in. So here we are. And I am going to throw a couple of those empty or clean sponge foams in here also because I just noticed I didn't have any extra ones, and then that was my twist ties. They come in handy a lot. Now this little bag that I have here is something by Totally Tiffany, and she has all kinds of organizing bags like this. Make sure you check her out, and I'll try and find a link for you if I can. I'll put that right back in my bag, and we'll go on to my adhesive bag, and we'll just go ahead and dump all this out. Now I have my little adhesives here. These are by scrapbook.com. They're just a little pop-up adhesives. I'm sure if you're a card maker, you know all about those. I have white and black in 2 different sizes. I have 2 more rolls of I think this is maybe a 1/4 inch thick pop-up adhesive. I have some pop dots, glue dots, these are. I have a little jar of matte medium. I have some Tombow Aqua liquid glue. Simon Says Stamp Craft Tacky Glue. And like I said, this is my adhesive bag, so anything that's adhesive should be in here. I have 2 rolls of Sukwang tape, another roll of double-sided tape that's a real inexpensive one, just trying to use that up, and then some red line tape that's double-sided also, and that goes in my bag. I have some pliers here. They're really great for taking off the tops of your glues if you need to clean those out, if you need to cut some dies apart, things of that nature, that goes in there. I have another craft blade here that maybe should go in that other bag, but that's all right. This is a little sanding product if you need to sand the edges of your cards or something. I have another pair of scissors, and these are my non-stick scissors, and they're titanium. Those are very, very good when you're working with adhesive. I have a corner rounder, and that fits in there also. And I have 2 glue pens. This one here is Martha Stewart Crafts, and it's a ballpoint tip liquid glue. And then I have a quickie glue pen, and this one's by Sakura, and I use that all the time for fine detailing. And I have a roll of washi tape and a roll of medical tape. I use this for 2 things. I use this for when my hands get very cracked. I put them on my cracked hands. And also I can use it because it's very forgiving there. I can use that to stick down my watercolor paper if I need to do that and didn't have my other one in there. I also have a little bunch of Q-tips, and they're great for putting on ink if you just need a little bit, or removing problems from your projects with some of your alcohol. Okay, so that's going back in my bag. Now in this area, this is mostly my mixed media things, but I do have my cutter in here, and it already has a blade in it. I use this for a paint palette. I keep that in there. This is a container with brushes, and I use those obviously for painting, watercolor painting, and I like this container because it can roll up and down to certain lengths and it won't smush your brushes. We'll go through this one here and this one. I have this small little thing that folds out and the bottom goes in. And this is what I put in front of me when I'm creating. I have my scissors in there, the adhesive that I'm using. There's a couple little clips on there. This is kind of like my catch-all to keep my little area clean and organized. I really like having that when I create. I also have some larger brushes, and these would be for putting on matte medium and my gesso and things, basically using them for mixed media. I also have my stamp chamois, and of course this is dry, and it's all black because I use that a lot. And I have a pack of baby wipes. So I'm going to put some of that back, and we will open the other ones that we need to go through. And I'll get that off of here. Okay, this is a makeup bag that I absolutely love. Look at that great puff there. But I wasn't using it for anything, and I'm mostly crafting and working in my art room, so I wanted it to be around me. So I used it for my heat embossing um, projects. So heat embossing, I've got some clear embossing powder, and that is by Simon's Stamp. I have my embossing tool. I have my white embossing powder by Hero Arts, and then I have a jar of clear. Now you know that you can use clear over any ink, and then that will give you that embossed color. So that's real handy to have in there. I also have a refill for my stamp pad in case it goes a little dry. I have a spoon for any embossing powders, and then I do have a small amount of metallic gold rich pale by Wow, and I use that color a lot. When that gets low, then I fill it from my bigger stash that's here at home. And of course, you're going to need your coffee filters for your embossing projects. Okay, I will put that back in there. And what is in this one? This is kind of my mixed media bag. So let's dump it out. And you will see it's a makeup bag also. I get these a lot at rummage sales. I love the patterns that they come in, and they're very inspiring, I feel. I have this container full of gesso, and I probably should write that on here, that it is gesso. I'm guessing it's gesso. Yes, yes, that is. So I'm going to write that on here. It's not cream paste. I used all my cream paste, but that is gesso. In this one, I used all of my fresh lime uh, paint out of here, and I filled this with, oh my goodness, well, it's full of matte medium, and that's maybe why I can't get it open, huh? Oh, I'll have to work on that. It's full of matte gel, and I definitely will have to work on that and clean the edge so that doesn't seal up like that anymore. So it's matte gel. And you did see me pull this out. It is an opener for these jars, and I do have one of those in my craft bag. It goes right on this side here, and I'll show you where that goes. So these go in here. Oh, modeling paste. A full jar of modeling paste is in here. I haven't even opened it, but I have extra of that, and that fits in there perfect. I take some black and some white acrylic paint, just whatever I have that I'm not using. Of course, I have several different kinds, and they're kind of for black splatters and white splatters. I like to have that with me. I have my two colors of ink that I use all the time for mixed media, art journaling, and card making. And the two colors that I like the best are the Jet Black and the Potting Soil by Ranger, and they are archival inks. So those go in there. In this container here, it's a little squeeze bottle with a fine line tip, and I have black acrylic paint and some airbrush medium in here, and that's really good for writing and squiggles and things that you may need on your art journal pages, your mixed media projects. I have a spray bottle here with alcohol in it, just rubbing alcohol. I have two palette knives. I have some makeup sponges. And then I just have two regular towels that go in there for using for my mixed media. When I come home, if those are dirty, I just throw them in the wash and get two fresh ones. So I'm going to put that back into my bag. And you can see how it all fits together. Yes, it's full, but that's okay. Now, I have pockets all the way around. I'll show you what I have in my pockets. Over here, I have uh, it's actually a piece for piercing. I use it for that also, for if you want to make some holes and you don't want to wreck a table or something, you can pierce on there. Also, I have a can cooler for my beverage. I have a half of a uh, mouse pad, and I use that for stamping on. And then I have that opener for my jars, which you could see did not work very well for me on that jar, but I will get my honey to open that for me and I will fix it up. I'm going to go to the other side here. This is the adhesive that I use. Take this out of here. And I have my adhesive dispenser, and then I have usually 2 or 3 backups. So this just reminds me that I need to put a couple of more backups in here. In this front pocket here, I have some cough drops and a little bit of candy, one very smushed chocolate in there, but you always got to have a little bit of that. In the front one here, I have some Post-it notes, some Band-Aids for my fingers, pieces of cardboard if I need to do any cutting with my X-Acto knife. That works really, really well. Okay, this next pocket here, I have my business cards, another little notebook that I put on my desk when I'm creating. Maybe somebody's using something that I really, really like and I want to check it out. I'll write it down and then I always have it when I go home. I don't have to remember. I have a small thing of Kleenex for your runny nose. And then also I have some of these Post-it notes that are adhesive all the way on the back side, so you can use that for masking. And I'm going to put that by my other Post-it note. I'm going to turn my bag around, and on this side, oh, here's this little thing. I found this little cushion heart, and I thought it was super cute. Well, I tied it onto my strap, and I have 2 long stick pins in there. And I use that a lot for maybe attaching little gems or sequins. And also if any of my liquid adhesive or my crystal drops up, I can open up the containers with those long pins. But I just couldn't get rid of that heart. It was just too adorable. So it hangs on my craft bag. On the back here, I have a thing of hand sanitizer, of course. One bag, one little pouch is empty. And then I have enamel accents also in the back pouch here. One is black and one is white. So that is what I keep in my travel bag. Like I said, I will link to some PDFs, maybe, if I can do that. And it will have a list of everything I have in here, and I will categorize it so it's easy for you. Some things you may not want. You may not want mixed media stuff in here. You may not need all of this. And then I'll let you know what I add to my other bags for when I leave. I do my card bases that are already cut and folded. I do my basket of all of my pattern paper that's already cut and folded or cut to the correct size for my card bases. And in that basket, I also have another thing of baby wipes. I have my T-ruler and my rip ruler that I would take for mixed media projects. And that basket always goes with me also because I would be lost without some of those things. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this type of video. Someone was asking me to do the video on how I set up my card bases and things, and I'm going to do that for you on Saturday, I believe. But I hope you liked this video. Leave comments below, and I will make sure I have those other things promised to you in the very near future. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye now.